without introduction, right? I mean, how do you call out the greatest dynamic duo to ever exist? I mean, let's keep it 100. I mean, yes, Adam West and Burt Ward, they did their thing. We love them for it, absolutely. But our Batman, our Robin, is none other than Kevin Conroy and Loren Lester. Guys, how are we doing? Are you
Great!
All right?
Everybody has been wonderful here.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I know that Cleveland is officially the home of Superman, but I think we're going to take it over and make it New Gotham. What do you guys say? Let's do that. Have you guys been to Cleveland before?
This is my third time.
Third time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I did AM Cleveland 35 years ago.
Nice. That's pre-Batman.
Yeah.
6 years ago.
I was playing a rock singer on a soap opera, and they had me going around the country doing appearances to promote the show. And they flew me in the night before to Cleveland. And I woke up at 5 a.m. and I went on this morning show and I had to sing. And I sang, and they said, "Oh, thank you so much for coming." I said, "I love Columbus. I would come to Cleveland." There was this long pause, and they said, "You're in Cleveland." I didn't have a clue.
Being that I'm from Columbus, I actually appreciate it. So thank you.
Well, 6 years ago, I was here shooting a commercial with Shaq. And that was really, he was on the team at that time, so that was very cool. But your city's beautiful.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Now, I got to go back to the Shaq thing. Him being a big Superman fan and you being Robin, was there any dialogue there? Was there a team up? Did you?
Not exactly.
Okay. Yeah. No, we didn't hear that story. What were you playing basketball with him?
No. It was a cable commercial, and he pops into our house to show us the wonders of cable. So he just.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, definitely welcome. I will let you guys know we're definitely going to open things up for questions. So if you do have any questions, feel free to line up at the mic. However, I will ask if you want to line up now that you squat down so you're not in anybody's way. It's kind of important. So we are here to celebrate 25 years of Batman the Animated Series being on this glorious place called Earth. How does that make you feel? I mean, the iconic nature of what you guys have brought forth.
The amazing thing about working on a show like this is that you have no way of knowing when you start out what it's going to turn into. We just started with an order for 16 episodes in '92. And you don't even, because you do the recordings first, and then they send the tapes off to the artists for painting. So in the first 6 months of recording the first shows, we didn't really know what it was going to look like. We had artist renderings of what the characters would look like, but we didn't really know what the whole show was going to look like. And it was 6 months later when it came back for what's called ADR, which is the process of syncing up the soundtrack with the visuals, that the actors finally see what the show's going to look like. And when we saw that first footage, I remember I was in there with Mark Hamill the first day I was looping. And I looked at him, I said, "Did you have a clue that this is what we were doing?" I mean, it was so breathtaking, the artwork. A show had never been painted on black before, on a black background. And it gave it such a film noir quality, such a richness to the colors, that no one had ever seen that before. And with a full symphony score, it just had never been done before.
I think when I got the job, certainly, and I think I heard you say this once too, it was just, oh, this is a really cool job. This is a nice job. We had other jobs that were going on at the time, jobs before, jobs after, but it was a really cool job. Had no idea that cool job would turn into 25 years later talking about it. We had no idea. So
That's awesome. Well, I think we can all appreciate the work that you did then, right, guys?
The thing is that a lot of it had to do with the casting. Andrea Romano is one of the best, perhaps the best casting director in Hollywood.
I have a huge crush on her.
Oh, she's fantastic. And she started out as an actress in college back in New York, and gradually got into agenting and then casting. So she's done a lot of different stages of the business. She understands how actors think. And she really likes actors, and she respects actors. And you'd be surprised at how many people don't, who work in the business, who don't really like actors. And she loves actors. And she likes to surround herself with people who are givers. So the booking sessions were always people who didn't have a lot of ego, who were there to contribute. There was always a really wonderful atmosphere in the room. And word got around pretty quickly that these bookings were a blast to be in on. That there was this great show being done at Warner Brothers. So she could get anyone she wanted,
Of course,
basically.
of course.
So the cast was incredible. The pool of actors she could get was great. They went way beyond the usual pool of voiceover people. And they got, film people, theater people, all kinds of actors.
And the inside story on that is like the one or two times that somebody didn't fit into that atmosphere, they were replaced. So it's like, well, we're a family here, and if you don't want to come in and be a family and play, and it's about your ego, you're not needed here. And I'm not mentioning any names, but they were replaced.
There you go.
But you know who they are.
Do we know them?
Oh, yes.
Let's get this question here.
Hey there.
Hello.
Batman and Robin, can you recite any of the lines from your favorite movie or something?
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
All right, now, Lauren, it's your turn.
Batman. It's not a joke, it's a riddle. We're not looking for the Joker, we're looking for the Riddler.
So this is more for Kevin. No offense. Going back to the Arkham games, what was it like seeing the old cast members from the show, like Mark Hamill or Arlene Sorkin?
Well, Mark and I have a special relationship. We've been working together for 25 years now, and I've often said the Joker defines Batman, and Batman defines the Joker. Each character wouldn't really be complete without the other. And what makes Mark so great is he's a stage actor at heart. And he loves, stage actors understand that it's like a game of catch. The better you throw, it's like getting a good volley going in tennis. The better you give energy to the other actor, the better they have to deal with. So the better you are, the better I am. And Mark has that wonderful attitude in the booth. He gives you so much. He's so generous. And when you give it right back to him, he loves it, So there was that spirit in the room. And that was what was so nice about going back to Arkham to do that. But you bring up an interesting topic, is the difference between doing games and the shows. Doing the shows, you record an entire half-hour show in about 2 hours. And to get the whole cast together, which is something also unique to Warner Brothers. They don't like to do the voices separately. They do everyone together. So you're all in the recording studio together, and it's done like a radio play. And you are acting with each other. You're giving each other energy. There's interaction. There's laughing. There's goofing off. There's what happens when you get a room full of actors, and it's very alive and it's exciting. The games, because of the way they're built, each soundtrack is to be completely clean, depending on how it's going to be manipulated by the player. So you're in the booth alone. You have to record alone. So for like Arkham Knight, for example, the last game, there were 37,000 lines of dialogue.
For all you gamers out there, appreciate it.
And it felt like 35,000 were mine. And you're alone in the room for 4-hour blocks at a time. Then they give you an hour for lunch, and then you're in for another 4 hours. And the next day you come back and you do it again. And it's line after line after line after line. Okay, that was great. Now do it with a little irony. Line after line. Keep the irony, and now can we have a little smile? Line. We love the smile, we love the irony. Now just a dagger, just to put a dagger in it. And then you're trying to keep the Batman character alive, and you're giving all these different line readings of the same line over and over again. By the end of the week, you don't know how to speak English anymore. By the end of the week, words aren't making sense anymore. but you're trying to keep the character alive, and you're trying to keep the situation alive, but you don't have Mark Hamill feeding you, or you don't have Loren Lester feeding you. You're in there alone. It's so much harder. It's exhausting. Building the games is no fun. It's not why you go to Juilliard, you know. It's not why you become an actor. But that being said, when you see it, when you see the results, you're so proud to be a part of it. You think, wow, I'm the voice of that game. This is so awesome. This is such an amazing thing to be a part of. So the result is something you're proud of, but the process is a ball buster.
And just to tell you, I have a project coming out this summer. Unfortunately, I can't talk about it, but I can tell you that I'm one of the leads in that, and the person I was playing opposite from wasn't even cast. So all of my lines and everything is delivered to I didn't know who, but when they put it together, it all worked beautifully. But that's sometimes how we have to work also.
Yes, with the same treatment that they did for Star Wars with making Shakespeare, or with rewriting the series in like Shakespearean iambic pentameter, would you be willing to go and read do audiobook readings of like if they decided to do like Shakespearean Batman?
Wouldn't that be cool? That would actually be cool. That's a cool idea.
I love that.
Also, I just have one request. I have one of my best friend who I have been friends since high school with. She gave me a complete set of Batman the Animated Series on DVD as a going away graduation gift.
Cool.
When I was leaving for South Carolina, and also I got to be her maid of honor.
Wow.
At her wedding last year, and I thought as a gift, this is a booklet that came with the collection. I was wondering if both you and Loren Lester could sign it.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, all right, thank you.
So in terms of you guys not seeing things, in the early stages and seeing where it would become this, iconic figure piece, what do you guys think of Harley Quinn and the evolution that she has taken on from the show?
Harley Quinn came out of Paul Dini's
Yes.
imagination, and it had a lot to do with his obsession with an actress named Arlene Sorkin.
Yes.
The character was written for Arlene.
Yes.
So she was just the, embodiment of Harley Quinn. And that's why that character was created, because Paul wanted to have something for Arlene. But then subsequently other actresses have done a wonderful, wonderful job with it.
I just heard this story today. I had never heard this story before. It's my encyclopedic handler over there, Chris. He's told me the story that Arlene was on a soap. Do you know this story? She was on a soap opera, and there was a dream sequence, and she was wearing like a jester hat. And that's where he got the idea. He said, well, maybe, the Joker would have an assistant, a woman with this hat. So that's how he created it.
Wow.
I never heard that story.
That's from Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, Days of Our Lives, yeah.
So Days of Our Lives had an impact on Batman, which has then had an impact on us.
Yeah.
But then Tara
Days of Our Lives
Strong,
is
Tara Strong did such a beautiful
Harley
job.
Quinn.
Huh?
Isn't that crazy?
Days of Our Lives is responsible for Harley Quinn. That's awesome.
But that's, I see all the different versions of Harley walking around, but it actually started with our show. I mean, it's
Right.
amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do think that her transition into things as a character has been phenomenal. Particularly to show how important the Batman the Animated Series has been in order to invoke an iconic female character, and her origins weren't from the books, but from, in fact, the comic or the cartoon series. And there's a lot of characters I think that you guys were responsible for introducing to a lot of fans, from Killer Croc to Poison Ivy, to a number of folks that either weren't in the movies or weren't in the 60s TV series, or at least not that often. Were there any particular favorite villains that you guys had that were showcased on the series?
Well, I have a special relationship with Joker.
Yes, you
So
do.
that was my
Yes.
absolute favorite. But so many of the villains the villains are really what make the show so much fun.
True.
They're so crazy, which was the great idea about the Arkham series. They had this idea, wait a minute, Batman never kills anybody, which I love about him. They're all put into an insane asylum. So all of these incredibly exotic nuts are in this place called Arkham Asylum. So what would happen if Batman got trapped in Arkham Asylum and had to fight his way out? And that was the basis of the first Arkham game. It was such a brilliant idea to build a computer game around. But do you have a specific villain?
There were several. I enjoyed working with all of them, but there were several that really I loved working with the most. John Glover.
Oh yeah, the Riddler.
Riddler. Henry Pollock played Scarecrow. Paul Williams, of course, and the Paul Williams. Yeah, he played the Penguin.
He was Penguin.
Yeah. Yeah, those three really come to mind.
What about characters that weren't like masked villains, we'll say? Characters like Rupert Thorne. Like, how did you guys enjoy when you had to go up against people that were a little bit more human? Or were those kind of like the downplayed episodes where you didn't...
Wasn't Rupert Thorne John Vernon? Wasn't it
Yes.
John Vernon?
Yeah.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was wonderful.
Yeah.
I loved working with John Vernon.
And Clayface was
It was Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And who played Daggett? That was...
from Night Court.
yeah.
Richard Mall.
Richard Mall.
Richard Mall,
I was like,
yes.
Bull! What's his real name?
I mean, these actors were amazing.
Yeah.
The bookings were so much fun. The people
Absolutely.
that they would bring in.
Roddy McDowell. I mean,
Yeah.
that was really amazing. From the golden age of Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing.
And then from Zimbalist Jr.
He wasn't a villain, though.
He was fantastic.
What's your question?
Yeah, I just jumped the lean down. So.
No, I appreciate it.
I read an interview with you, Kevin, a number of years ago where you said that Batman, Superman, and Popeye roomed together at Juilliard. What's the story behind that?
Well, not Superman was at Juilliard with us, but he wasn't part of the same apartment.
Okay.
But Robin Williams and I were roommates at Juilliard. But it was a weird situation because Robin was about 22 when he started Juilliard. His parents, I think, were kind of really getting frustrated. When is this guy getting on with his life? And he was doing mime in front of the Metropolitan Museum to pay for his time at Juilliard. I was 17. I had left high school early. So, I was still popping pimples, and he was having crazy sex. So we were at such different stages in our lives. Robin he's a genius. He was a comic genius. And he was also possessed with a kind of a darkness. There was a torture quality to him. I was trying to figure out, how to live. I was on my own at 17. I got a full scholarship. I moved into New York. I've been supporting myself ever since. So I was trying to figure out how to live in life. I was sort of catching up on growing up, and he was already, a man.
Right.
Christopher was at Juilliard at the same time, but he wasn't actually part of our apartment. I think he and Robin lived together the first year, and then Robin and I lived together the second and third years. But it was an amazing time to be at Juilliard. Mandy Patinkin was there then.
Wow.
My other classmate was Kelsey Grammer. Christine Baranski was there at that time.
Wasn't your teacher John Houseman?
John Hausman was
Yeah.
the teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the first day that I was there auditioning when I was I either just turned 17 or I was 16. I got out of the elevator, and this short guy with pockmarked face and long hair and built like a brick shithouse, came storming into the elevator, and as everyone got real quiet, and after the elevator doors opened, he flew out of the elevator, and someone said, "That was Nureyev." It was Rudolph Nureyev! But he was, teaching classes there, or taking classes. I mean, it was that kind of place. This is in the 70s, the mid-70s. It was an amazing place to be, and I sort of stumbled into it. Sure.
I have a question, I'll say
Yeah.
it loud enough so I don't need it. Have you seen any of the newer incarnations of the voice of Batman, like Christian Bale or Ben Affleck? What is your opinion of those voices?
Be honest.
Well,
If we can understand you.
They tried. They tried.
What did they try to be? What did
They tried to be me.
There it is.
I think Ben Affleck's doing a great job, actually. And I think he got a lot of crap when he got cast. People were on the internet were very angry about it. And I said, give the guy a break. He's a wonderful actor. And he's done a great job with it. I think Christian Bale, I loved his Bruce Wayne. He has got Bruce Wayne nailed. But the Batman voice, wow. Sounds like he has laryngitis or something.
Did you like his car?
Car's cool.
Okay. I honestly prefer your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, question. You talk about working off each other's actors. Later in seasons when he and Nightwing, Batman and Nightwing were at odds with each other. They didn't have a great relationship. What was your approach to kind of tackling that as the characters?
It's hard to keep him in his place. But I do my best.
Well,
It was exciting for you to get Nightwing.
it was exciting, and it was really kind of a devastating and joyful experience at the same time. Because Andrea, we were just talking about Andrea, and she played a trick on me. She called me at my house and said, "I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is you're not going to be Robin anymore." I fell through the floor. I couldn't believe it. I said, "Well," the good news is you're now going to be Nightwing." So, I'm very excited about that. So I think, for me, I approached the character taking a cue from Kevin, because Nightwing eventually becomes Batman. He wanted to be more and more like Batman, so my voice was lower, more steady, not quite so excitable. And so it was a kind of almost playing a little bit of a different character than Robin, so I really enjoyed doing that. As far as the tension was concerned, they wrote great scripts for us. So as actors, we always took our cues from the scripts. They were terrific.
Thanks.
Speaking of those scripts, the episode Old Wounds
Yes,
was
my favorite.
brilliant. Is that truly your favorite?
My favorite, yep.
What made that one your favorite? Just the show?
I got to play both Robin and Nightwing in that episode. So it starts off in the present, and he's telling the young Robin the story of how he became Nightwing. And so in the flashback sequences, I got to be Robin, Dick Grayson as Robin, and it went back and forth, so that was a lot of fun for me.
That sounds awesome. Now, you were kind of portrayed as kind of a villainous person in that episode. You were kind of the hard edge that Nightwing or Dick was having to push against. How did you like that portrayal?
Well, it's fun to look for different colors in the characters. You always want to go past just the square-jawed hero, So actors are always looking for other colors to play. So I enjoyed it.
Nice, very nice.
Hey guys, big fan.
Thank you.
My question is for both of you. What was your favorite scene or quote from the animated series?
My favorite scene was in Mask of the Phantasm. And I'm at the grave of my parents, and I'm pleading with them to release me from my vow to avenge their deaths, because I've fallen in love and I want to have a normal life. But I know I can't. I know I'm trapped by my past. And it's just a wonderful struggle to play in that scene. It made me be...
That's Mark Hamill calling.
That was the most powerful moment for me.
He was pretty good, by the way.
Thank you.
For me, I love Sub-Zero, because Sub-Zero, thank you, because Sub-Zero, Robin gets to really become sort of a partner with Batman. A lot of the episodes, I'm kind of, what are we going to do, Batman? But in Sub-Zero, he was very much an integral part of the solution to the problem. And I guess my favorite line would be, "Things change." So there you go.
I will honestly admit that my favorite episode is Almost Got Him. And it was Killer Croc's line of, I threw a rock at him. He was so sincere. He was like, I did that. It was a big rock. No.
I love your choreography between Damien and you two. Any more projects coming up between y'all three?
Between which?
With
Batman,
Damien.
and Nightwing.
Do
No.
you have any projects with that?
No.
Because I know they're yeah, because they brought in who's doing the voice for Batman in those runs of that?
Bruce Wayne.
Who is it?
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, it is.
Well, he
O'Mara.
did one, but yeah, I
Jason,
think it's Jason. Yeah,
Jason O'Mara.
yeah, I think he's doing most of them. But he should,
Oh.
they should bring out
He
that.
better.
Because the relationship between the three of you in the series right now is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he's got a thing against Robin, like, I'm better than you, no, you're not.
They do have a big brother.
So that was Jason
Someone
O'Mara.
rival.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
he's
that's
done
a different
Bad
actor.
Blood and stuff. Yeah. So it's him trying to be you instead of
Yeah.
Now,
He's good, though.
do you like Damien as a concept?
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
Do you like the story behind? I mean, because you got drugged, man. I mean, it's pseudo raping. I'm just saying.
Well, those are some of the most interesting scenes to play. When you're drunk.
Oh, okay, that's
And
interesting.
you have to go to an altered state.
Okay.
Those are interesting.
Okay.
Like Perchance to Dream. That's one of my favorite
That was
episodes.
a really good.
Where he's drugged and he goes back to his childhood.
You know, since it's the 25th anniversary, there's all kinds of buzz about, rejiggering the series in some way or another, whether it's on TV or movies or, So keep your ears open and maybe you'll hear an announcement.
Yes.
We'd like to hear an announcement.
How did you feel about the Return of the Joker when you did that?
The Killing Joke?
No, Return of the Joker.
Oh, The Return of the Joker. Yeah. That's the movie
Batman
with
Beyond.
Batman Beyond that you vote for the Return of the Joker series.
I wasn't in that.
You didn't get to play.
No, he wasn't. That was Tim Drake.
No, I thought that you got to play something in that though.
No, I did not.
What? I thought you got to play something.
Well,
That's
anyway,
rude.
anything with Mark Hamill is wonderful to do. So I love working with Mark.
There he is. There's Nightwing.
I've heard conspiracy theories about the next Arkham games. Do you guys know what that's going to be about?
I don't know anything about new Arkham games.
Because I've been hearing that it's going to be like Damian Wayne is going to be Batman, or it's going to be like after Arkham Origins or something
Oh,
like
really?
that. Yeah.
Maybe you may know more than I do. I don't know. The most recent game I did was in Injustice 2. It's just come out, but I haven't been asked. You only know about things that you've been asked to do.
Right.
So things go into production that I don't even know about if they haven't asked me to do it, and they haven't asked me to do it for Arkham game. So,
Normie? Normie.
They should.
Normie or
Steven,
Normie?
is that something we should look into?
Sorry.
When you got cast, when you found out that you were going to be casted as Batman for the animated series, what was your reaction to that?
Well, it was a job. I didn't know it was going to turn into 25 years of playing an iconic character. Turning into 4 different shows and countless movies and games. There's no way of knowing. When you get hired as an actor, you're hired for that job. And all you really know is that you've got that day's work coming up, you know what I mean? And then it's just, there's a wonderful line in John Lennon's song, "Life is what happens while you're busy making other plans." It's not the kind of thing you can plan on. You go one step in front of the other step in front of the other step, and then suddenly you look around and you've walked a few miles and life has happened. I don't feel any different than I did when I was 25. I know I look different. But I feel the same,
And it's especially precarious now for actors because you get on a TV show, and even if you're a series regular, you get the script one day and they're killing you that week. Those of you who love The Walking Dead,
Yep.
I have several friends who've been on that show, and they couldn't believe when they got the script that they, you're killing me in the show. So
They're gonna eat my head?
right. So as Kevin was saying, you get a job, and for what you know, it's a job that day. And if you're a series regular, well, maybe it'll be a few more episodes, but you don't know. You don't know where it's going to go.
And I have one more question. Who'd you like play better, Robin or Nightwing?
Nightwing. And I'm not just saying that because of the way you're dressed. Definitely, I love it. They really started to get a whole bunch of different dimensions to the character, and then they ended the series.
Damn them.
Well, Lauren, Robin and Nightwing aren't the only DC characters that you've played, though, right?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Yes, I played Man-Bat.
Yes.
What else did I play?
Hal Jordan.
Yes, on Brave and Bold.
Brave and Bold.
Yes, and Iron Fist. Is that?
Iron Fist Marvel.
Marvel.
Sure, you know.
So what was your question?
Well, that you have in fact played other DC characters. So
Yes.
in the long line of other DC characters, is Nightwing still your favorite?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely my favorite.
How's it going?
This guy's a DC fan right here.
That's in Marvel. DC is where I'm at. But as a massive comic fan, you know, as you're reading the stories, you know, you have to make the voices yourself. Well, obviously Batman, Robin, Joker, it's your guys' voices that, you know, I hear in my head as I'm reading. And it's just, the other guys, it's you know, I appreciate what they do, but your voices are the characters of Batman.
That means the brainwashing work.
And the question I have is, Mark keeps going, oh, okay, that's it, I'm done with the Joker, and then they pull him in for Arkham. He goes, okay, I'm done with the Joker now, and then you can't pass on killing Joe, so he's back for killing Joe.
Oh, yeah.
What's your feeling towards, you know, being Batman, or the voice of Batman? I mean, you've done Justice League, Batman, as many as you can do, pretty much.
Batman is such an iconic character. He's such a noble, complicated, dark character. He's such a challenge that I never get tired of playing. People always say, aren't you tired of doing it for 25 years? No, I never get tired of it. He's it. You know, he's a wonderful character to play. I never get tired of sinking my teeth into him.
So as long as they keep asking you, you'll keep doing it?
Oh, absolutely.
And you gotta keep pulling them back.
Whenever I'm not in one of these things, it's because they didn't ask me. I always want to do it. Mark does get a little tired of it periodically.
He's got a little crazy now.
Yeah, but he's got a little crazy.
And one last thing, is there a way we can do like special editions of the Batman movies that have been made and like redub your voice over?
Yeah, Christian Braille would really like that. That'd go over big.
And can you imagine if you redid like Batman and Robin? You guys would kill them out. That would be amazing.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, this is my brother, and he has been so excited to see both of you. And today's his 20th birthday, so
Whoa.
I was hoping that you guys could sing him happy birthday.
Sing him happy birthday.
Yes.
How about
What's
if
his
everybody
name?
sings a happy
Yeah.
birthday?
What's his name?
What's your name?
Tabo.
Tabo.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tabo. Happy birthday to you.
That was a good birthday.
When's our album coming out?
I just found this out about him it was in the airport when we arrived here. We started talking about a musical we had both seen, and he revealed to me what a singer he is. I had no idea. I had no idea.
Keeps all these things. Yes. 25 years of Batman still drops knowledge. Amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Just wondering what year the animated series was set in. It's got the modern gadgets, but it's got the 40s looking cars.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the timelessness of it.
There you go.
It's timeless. But it does, it has that noir 40s look. But it's space age gadgets. So when is it? I don't know.
The Batman timeline is just
Blank.
Hi guys. I really got up here just to say what everybody else has been saying, that you're my favorite Batman voice.
Thank you so
ever.
much.
I was telling my wife that when I saw your name on the moniker, I was like, I gotta go see him. Because he's my favorite Batman voice.
My key to playing the character early on, and I think it's why it resonates with the audience so much, was that Batman isn't the mask. Bruce Wayne is the mask.
Yes.
Batman is who he really is in his soul when he's naked, when he's alone. And he puts on the suit of Bruce Wayne and he faces the world. So that when he's Batman, it's a very comfortable, safe, warm, vulnerable sound. Instead of being that goofy sound that Christian Bale puts on. Because I think they've approached it the wrong way. I think they're putting on a weird sound rather than letting themselves go into their own darkness. And that's where the safety is. That's who they really are when they're naked. Bruce Wayne is the performance.
Right.
So what you're saying, I think, is that Batman is the king of cosplay.
Boom!
So if I did have a question, I'm first of all, congratulations on 25 years.
Thank you.
Is there any hope? I heard like some mention in the conversation here today. Is there any hope that there can be an actual revisit to the animated series in the vein that it was when you guys first did it? This is what I'm getting at.
I don't think so.
You don't think
because
so?
That's Bruce Timm. That's his decision.
Oh, okay.
He's moved past that. That's the only reason the show stopped being made.
Okay.
The audience wanted more, the studio wanted more, the actors wanted to do more.
Okay.
It's really Bruce, the creator, who kind of ran out of ideas and wanted to move on to Batman Beyond, to new ideas.
I would add to that, there's always hope.
Yeah. There is another Batman movie coming out towards the end of this year, which I can't tell you what it is, but there will be another Batman animated movie coming out.
Okay.
Are you in it?
I am in it.
Okay. All right.
The reason I asked that question is like with all these new incarnations of Batman that they're coming out with, and not just Batman, but a lot of the animated series, it's almost like they're moving to this more adult way of dealing with the character, and the concept of what adult means is, hey, let's introduce more violence, let's introduce more gore, let's introduce more profanity in an effort to draw in these older individuals. And that was never the appeal of Batman. That was never the appeal of the comics to begin with.
I know what you mean.
So I guess that's kind of what I'm asking is like, is there any hope that we can get back to what comics were really about?
I know what you mean. Because Gotham, the show, the artwork is so beautiful, the art direction, and the look of the show is so wonderful, but it's so violent. It's so horribly violent. People are not just killed, they're butchered. And every time I watch it, I think, this isn't Batman. This is not the world of Batman. He would never do this. So I know what you mean. And the over-sexualization, the over-violence. So I agree with you in that show. But I would love to see more of the original show be done, but there's no plans.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Sure.
The over-sexualization part is very interesting because the newest incarnations of like Catwoman are very revealing in her outfit. She's unzipped and all types of things like that. But the animated series, and don't get me wrong, Catwoman was sexy.
Yeah.
But she had like a full bodysuit,
Yeah.
literally covering up her head and everything. So you see that you don't have to reveal everything to be a
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. The same with Harley Quinn.
Right.
She's become just like
Not my daughter. Not my daughter.
Hi.
First off, I wanted to say how much I truly enjoyed watching Batman and the Superman when you guys were in
Thank you.
Superman and Justice League. You really are my Batman.
Thank you.
And my
Thank you so
Robin.
much.
So
Thank you.
I binge watch. So I'm trying to get my daughter to start. So
Yeah, you gotta start her.
Do it.
she made me binge watch My Little Pony. So but I want to know, the first time you saw yourself, the Batman up on the screen with your voices coming out, Batman and Robin, what was it like for you?
Well, as I was describing earlier, it was that first ADR session when I was in there with Mark Hamill, and we saw it all came up on this full screen in a dubbing studio at Warner Brothers. So those colors came up, and the characters came up, and this iconic character, and my voice came out of him. I thought, holy crap, that's me! So yeah, it was pretty amazing.
And I really do love the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Oh,
When they put Poison Ivy and Harley together, that was phenomenal.
I know!
They need to do that again.
Yeah, thank you. Hey.
Hey, gentlemen. Pertaining to the animated series and Paul Dini being the great writer he was and kind of reestablishing some of the villains and doing a great job with that, and then his writing on the Arkham games, what would you feel, or do you think that he could do a great job at writing a live-action Batman movie for the cinematic universe?
Wow.
Well, I know he loves writing for live action. He actually had a series, I think it was done in Canada, wasn't it? That series he did. So he loves writing for live action. And the thing about the show that made our show, that made it so special, was that it was written like a real film, written like a live action film. So of course he could, write wonderful live action stuff. Absolutely.
That's something that I think the audience, that you guys understand, is that the writers, the producers, the actors, everyone involved in the show really took it seriously and really respected the audience. There was never any, because I think there's often an attitude about people in Hollywood that they're this sort of elitist, liberal, group that condescends to the audience. That couldn't be further from the truth in the animation world. There's enormous respect for the audience, and there's great respect for the characters and the scripts. These are people of incredible integrity. They really work hard at these scripts, and they take their work very, very seriously. And they take what you think very seriously. They take what the audience feeds back very much to heart. So it's a community I'm very proud to be a part of. There's an award given out every year called the Annie Awards, the Animation Awards, and they were just given out a few weeks ago at Pauley Pavilion at UCLA, and I was asked to be a part of it, to be a presenter. And I stood up there in front of this crowd, and I'm looking out at all of these amazing writers and artists and producers and actors from Pixar and Warner Brothers and Disney, and I said, I am so humbled to be a part of this creative community. Because the Hollywood that's perceived in the press so much is this narcissistic, asses who, get their name in print for just being celebrities. They don't really do anything. That's not the heart and soul of Hollywood. They're the people who are really working every day in the studios. And animation community is so much about that.
Thank you.
So as everybody in this room has been saying how, they would like to see you guys do the voices for these characters more often. If you guys would get to do more like the movies and stuff, is there like a certain storyline from any of the comics you would do, or just like a kind of story topics that you like to tackle as a character?
We get in trouble whenever we make comments about things like this, but there is a story I would love to do, which is Hush.
Yes.
I think that's so cool. But But they're not planning on doing that.
Well, yeah.
But,
Yet. Everybody start writing Warner Brothers right now.
Petition.
I'd like to see the final transition of Nightwing into Batman and what kind of conflict that creates with, Bruce Wayne.
with me,
Yeah. That'd be great.
get out of my suit.
Exactly.
We're running low on time, so we're going to have to ask you to do real quick questions.
All right, once again, just like everybody else, you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
You set the definitive version of all the characters for me. Still to this day, I sculpt custom figures of the Kenner line because you made that much of an impression on me.
Thank you.
My question is, there was a tease, probably about a year and a half ago. You did maybe one line in it. It was like a Bruce Timm short with Hugo Strange. It was when the 25th anniversary first hit. What was the deal with that?
I don't, I remember doing the recording, but I don't remember what the situation was.
Because it was kind of like we all got excited, oh, there's going to be a new Batman cartoon coming out or something. It was just like a minute short.
I
or whatever it
remember
was.
that doing that short, but I don't remember what the situation was. I'm sorry.
Okay, because Bruce Timm did the artwork, and I thought.
Yeah. No, I remember they did that whole thing.
Was it the 75th anniversary piece? I think that's what
It
it
was
was for.
with Hugo Strange.
Yeah, I think that was
and
for.
Batman was battling some monster.
Yeah,
It
that was
set
for the
in,
75th anniversary
Is that what
of
it was?
Batman. That's what it was.
Right.
But it did make us all like, are we getting a new series?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was just to celebrate the 75th anniversary.
So, and that was it.
The
There was
creation of the show.
nothing to become of that or anything planned.
No.
Well,
Never
that,
evolved.
That kind of
to
sucks.
I know, right?
Sorry.
You had a dream.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How's it going? With the talks of the 25th anniversary, obviously, is there any talks of re-release, DVD, Blu-ray, do you know? I know you kind of teased maybe an
We
announcement.
are always the last to hear about any of that stuff, so I have no idea.
Thank you.
Sure.
So first I just want to say what everyone else has been saying about how much you guys really influenced the characters. And honestly, I was never a really big Batman fan until I saw the animated series. As you can probably tell, I'm more of a video game kind of person. But because of you guys, I got really into Batman.
Well, thank you.
You're always going to be the original Batman to me.
Thank you so much.
And what I wanted to ask is that you guys seem to have as much involvement with the characters as the actual writers, and I was wondering, is there anything I could do, because I want to be a writer and I want to be able to do what you guys do, and I was wondering, is there a way I can make things seem adult and make the characters seem original without just throwing in mindless gore to be adult?
Alright, I will jump
I'm
in.
not a writer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I am a writer. So, one of the things that you can do is be honest about what your character's motivations are. Honesty is a big thing with adult writing, to be legit to what the characters are actually going to do or won't do and why. So if you can be honest about this stuff, it's not so bad. There's a lot of things where for kids' mediums, it's to be nice, it's to be colorful and polite, but not necessarily honest. So aim for honesty, that's adult.
And I think that the key to writing, from what I understand, is always to write what you know, to not try and bullshit. That being said, in this world of Batman, you think, well, how can I write about anything I know in that situation? Well, Bruce Wayne at the grave of his parents, like I was using earlier from Mask of the Phantasm, that's a very human moment. That's a very emotional human moment. So you use what you know. And I think it always goes back, really good writing always goes back to finding the humanity in the situation. Even if it's a bizarre situation and a crazy character, finding the humanity there.
Thank you. And how apropos the last question.
Riddle me this.
Are we going to understand this question?
My question more or less portrays to, why do you think Riddler was portrayed as, there's not that much for Riddler anymore? Riddler was just kicked out of the comics, hey, he doesn't exist anymore. He was used, maybe a couple times in the animated series. That's the only time we actually knew about him, because he was kicked out of the series altogether. Why do you think that was?
Well, that was John Glover, right?
Yes.
John Glover was used
Yeah.
pretty frequently, because John and I have been friends since we were in our 20s. We've done a number of shows together, on stage, theatrical shows. I don't know why more wasn't done with the Riddler later. I think probably because the Joker took over.
Yeah.
Joker really became the focus of the show.
Yeah.
Because you're right, there should have been more Riddler. He's a wonderful character.
Indeed, indeed.
Probably that's it. Probably the Joker sucked all the energy out of the room.
Yeah.
Because he just became such a crazy, couldn't get enough of him.
Johnson Riddles. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was sort of to my sense is like, how can you have a person who tells jokes instead of like riddles when there's already a guy who tells riddles here? And then they immediately just kicked him out of the whole entire series together.
Well, that's wrong.
That's right.
Bring back Riddler, damn it.
Let's start that hashtag right now.
Start a petition.
Bring back Riddler. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Thank you so very much. Thank you guys. Let's give these guys a round of applause.
We're here till 4 o'clock.
Till 4 o'clock. They'll be at their table, so definitely come by, check them out. And thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Wizard World, for having us. Guys, Kevin, Lauren, you guys were awesome.
Oh,